Eastern PA Weather 30 meteorologist Bobby Martinsher with your outlook for January 3rd, 2017. For your Tuesday, we're going to have rain moving in the area today, a little more concentrated than what we saw on Monday with those intermittent light showers, but I do think we're going to have a period of a little bit steadier rain. Totals that'll be a little bit higher than they were on Monday. We'll probably get above a half inch in many locations, probably between a half inch and 3/4 of an inch of rain before it's all said and done. We're going to have this area low pressure that's sitting in the Ohio Valley move over here in this direction, but all this precipitation that's sitting here is going to move up in our direction from southwest to northeast during the day. I'll show you that here as we move ahead. Here's a look at late morning, and you see the waves of precipitation moving through into the afternoon hours and redevelopment occurring on the coastline here, and then before it heads up toward Cape Cod. But the precipitation will be coming to an end for the interior locations that are still getting it up until, or actually through the evening hours from southwest to northeast. Let's go over the NAM high-res future simulated radar. This is looking at 7 a.m. on Tuesday, and you can see just the southern areas are getting into the action at this point. The precipitation is moving from southwest to northeast. No chance for icing at this time. This precipitation moving in will all be in the form of rain. Here's a look at 10 a.m. and then by 1 p.m. we think the entire area will be inundated with rain. That'll be tapering off in the next frame in the afternoon as we head for our southeastern areas, but that's just the steadiest. I do think we have showers that are going to continue in these areas that I'm circling, even though it's showing it shutting off here at this point. You're still going to have an opportunity for some intermittent showers until through the evening hours until the system's completely out of here, and we can see that here still through the evening hours. Some few showers left over, mainly in the interior locations, but that's out of here before midnight everywhere. We should start remaining mostly cloudy then overnight. Okay, so we get past this point here. Once the system pulls away, we have a cold front come through here on Wednesday, and this is going to come through kind of early in the morning. So any highs for the day that you experience that are going to be above normal again, you're going to have another warm day today. You're going to have another warm day on Wednesday, but I think those highs occur early in the morning because once you get that front moving through, winds are going to shift to the west, northwest. You're going to have temperatures coming down pretty quickly. They're going to be falling through the 40s and 30s through the afternoon, and then we're settling back down in the 20s across the entire region as we get into Wednesday night. So it's going to be colder for quite some time. We're going to be colder straight through at least probably the beginning or maybe to the middle of next week before we start any kind of moderation. And I'm not talking about really brutal cold, but it is colder than average. And when you're talking about this time of year being the coldest climatological period that we have all year, as far as highs and lows are concerned, and if you're below normal, it's obviously pretty cold. All right, so you don't really need to be brutally cold for it to be cold this time of the year. It's cold enough. When we get into Thursday is when it really starts settling in here. We're going to have to start watching. Now, we talked about a system coming in for the weekend. Now, we're going to have to keep a close eye on this still. We're not writing anything off, but there's less of a chance as far as the model trends were concerned that ran on Monday and also on Monday evening. We saw a trend to focus on the energy of the first wave. There's actually two waves. The first wave would be this one right here, very weak wave coming through Thursday night, probably after midnight into Friday morning, giving you some areas some light snow. It's a very high ratio snow, so it means it's real fluffy stuff, easy to get rid of, but also piles up a little bit quicker. So instead of getting an inch, you might get an inch and a half or two because of the fluff factor. So not a lot of snow with this. That's the whole idea. All right, the second wave is still there. We'll get into that in a second. The first wave here, uncertain what this is going to do exactly. If this thing stays weaker, it gives a better chance for the system behind it to do better. Now, this is relatively weak, but it is starting to show an area of low pressure developing and heading off to the northeast. So you could get the eastern sections here grazed with an accumulating snowfall. Would be a couple inches, but we'll have to keep a close eye on that just in case. This is just wave one. But you can see the interior gets some snow too, just very light. These light grays here aren't really a lot. But again, this is high ratio snow, so in the interior, probably northwest I-95 on this particular model, you're talking about an inch and a half of snow. Not a big deal, fluffy snow, pretty to look at, that's about it. Okay, but not a major concern. The second wave is still down here in the Gulf states, and it's going to be making its way up the coast also. The question is, How far northwest does this come? Or is this just going to aimlessly head out in this direction like this and stay far enough offshore that it's just none of the precipitation is coming any higher than this? Or maybe not even that high. But this particular model is indicating that you might have a little bit of interaction, just enough to get this area low pressure to come close enough that you get another graze here. Okay, and especially area southeast of 95. We're going to have to watch this pretty closely. It will not take much for this to move northwest. We're not writing off the weekend storm threat. Okay, models have trended that direction, but the energy is not going to be sampled until the energy comes on shore in the Pacific Northwest until Wednesday. So we're going to hold off making any definitive calls yet, but we're trending in the direction of less impact from the second wave and more from the first. But we'll just wait and see how that plays out, because a lot of things can happen, a lot of things can change. So we just want to make everybody aware of that, that there's the potential more both Thursday night after midnight into Friday morning for some light stuff, and there might be another wave behind it. That might be a little more potent if it can come northwest, which is still a possibility. You could get some more accumulating snow. Here's the NAMS take. Now this is at max range here that we're looking at. This is going way out, but does show the potential for some light snow. Again, this is overnight Thursday night into Friday morning. You can see that shown here with some light snow, light accumulating snow. It's actually showing it for a little more in the interior than the global models are showing it further southeast. So a lot of different solutions here. Again, this is just a light snow, not a big deal. Okay, but we're going to keep an eye on it just in case, because we have there'll be some travel impacts possibly for Friday morning, maybe over the weekend if you do get into some snow. And again, right now we're favoring anything south and east of 95, but it won't take much for that thing to move northwest and come a little bit close to the coast and cause a little bit more problems for the interior. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 3rd, 2017. Almost messed up there. 2017. Have a great Tuesday.